All right, Dr. Chris here at the Nerve Health Institute, and we've got Dr. Miller here, who's our patient, and today we want to talk with you about sleep positions. So many of you ask us, hey, what's the best position for me to sleep in to maintain my nerve health? Remember, your brain and spinal cord are here. You've got 88 primary nerves that power up every millimeter section of every bone, every millimeter section of every organ, every millimeter section of every muscle, and every millimeter section of every bone. I think it's, or skin, part of your skin is the last one. So keep in mind, we want these 88 nerves to stay powered on as good as possible, especially when you sleep. So when you sleep, you ought to be relaxed. Your body should heal during sleep, and you should wake up feeling refreshed, and you should wake up feeling great. So many of you out there wake up each day and wake up feeling bad. You wake up stiff and sore. Well, that means you're doing things in your sleep a lot of times that are not right. So let's get to this. Okay, so in a perfect world, it'd be wonderful if every one of you out there across the world had this bed where you could lay on this thing. You have this face piece where your nose is in this hole where you can breathe. And this is a nice relaxed position, but none of us have beds like this. So the typical person, there's so many of you out there trying to sleep on your stomach or sleep on your belly. And that's not good for a lot of reasons. So let's just pretend that she's in a bed right now, has a pillow underneath here. And typically what people do is they turn the head, right? So the head is turned now. Kind of imagine the spinal cord here. So all her neck vertebrae are turned now to this side. And all of this, the spinal cord gets pulled. I mean, everything's kind of pulled. The nerves, even between each one of these vertebrae, aren't in the best position to hold for a while. The shoulders are rotated outward, or upward and outward. That's abduction and external rotation. That creates more laxity in the front part of the shoulders a lot of times if you're sleeping in this position. And then keep in mind the thoracic vertebrae, all these ribs and vertebrae here, everything's all rotated to this side. So that can even affect your lungs and your breathing in this section of your body. And then if you look further, you typically are going to sleep with your leg all propped up to one side, and that twists your lumbar spine, your sacrum. It even helps or can diminish blood flow down to one leg versus the other. So this is definitely, I would say, out of all the positions you can sleep in, the worst. And there's so many of you out there doing this. And what even makes it worse is this pillow. So let's say the pillow is too high and you're really bent back. And then that even jams things even more than just sleeping in this position. So the simple part of this is there's no way to sleep on your stomach that you can do with and achieve good nerve health. You're going to have problems if you sleep on your stomach over time. So here's some other positions, and I'll just let Dr. Miller kind of go through and we'll kind of describe some common ones that people do. Now, obviously, sleeping on your back is a good position. But you want to make sure if you're sleeping on your back, your pillow should be very narrow. And they even make pillows that kind of have a valley where your head goes back here. So, and just for argument, just keep your head straight just for a second, Dr. Miller. But so in this particular case, her pillow's pretty low, and her neck, you want the neck to be kind of curved backward a little bit. So if her pillow was too high like this, look at her neck, how it's bent forward. Kind of imagine all the nerves in the neck right now and the spinal cord and even in the middle back are not the healthiest at all. And so but there's great potential you'll wake up even with numbness in the arms from all the nerves coming through the neck down there. So, but again, going back, this is a really good position here, but this, it turns bad with just a simple pillow being too high. So you can also see sometimes people sleep with their arms up like she has them. And this, sometimes you can wake up with your hands completely numb just from this position, because a lot of times blood flow can get decreased and or nerve function can get decreased sleeping in this position for too long. And if you want to practice on yourself, don't go to sleep and just lay on your back for 15 minutes and you might notice some stuff go down in your arms and hands. So in a perfect world, if you're going to sleep on your back, your arms should be somewhere on the side. Your neck should be nice and positioned with a little curvature going backwards. The pillow ought to be very thin when you're sleeping on your back and not too high, because it creates problems. So you want to throw some other positions for them?
No, a lot of my patients will sleep just all over, hips bent in different directions, or the whole arm and everything's all twisted. So
just to keep imagining, we got like this spinal cord you can see back on the wall back here, and it runs here with all the nerves coming off of it, and everything in this position. You can see she's got all kinds of twists and bends within the spinal cord and all the nerves coming off of it. And again, we're talking about trying to keep your nerve health good at night so that your body can heal. So keep in mind, just the back position, sleeping in this position. You don't have to be necessarily military with this, where you don't move and you're just like this all night, but you want something where at least your neck is down, you're comfortable, you got a nice position going here. Another good position that we recommend is on the side. And Lily, you may want to come from this angle. And just there's a lot of different variations that you can do on this. A bad thing would be if the pillow's too low. And you see her neck is bending down because the pillow is too low here. That makes this whole spinal cord potentially get problematic, and the nerves coming off of it. It messes even all through here up as well. So if you're sleeping on your side, you want to make sure your pillow is thick enough to accommodate the width, and Lily, you may want to see this, from your shoulder to your ear. So very simply put, you cannot sleep on your back and on your side on the same height pillow. Your back needs to be really low, a small pillow if you're sleeping on your back. Conversely, on your side, your pillow needs to be thicker to accommodate this shoulder width. Otherwise, this happens. And that's not good for your spinal cord health and your nerve health coming off into your parts. Okay, so also in this position, a lot of people prefer to put something between the knees, like a pillow between the knees here, to kind of make sure that your knees aren't rubbing together. Some people, like Dr. Miller's doing, will hike a leg up. Again, that creates asymmetry where this pelvis is rotated, the lumbar spine's rotated, and things aren't, so if you sleep like this all night, well, something's gonna stay crooked potentially, and you're gonna wake up and have some nerves that have lost power, maybe to one side or the other. So the best two positions that we recommend are on your side or on your back, those two. Anything else that you're doing, especially stomach sleepers, really, really awful. And in general, just try to make sure that you're maintaining some symmetry throughout your sleep, and make sure that you feel good. A general rule of thumb is if you wake up every morning, and I just had one of my staff members tell us this, that she wakes up every morning hurting. I'm like, that's not a good thing. You should not wake up in the morning hurting. You should wake up in the morning feeling really, really good because you slept on a nice bed in a position that kept your spinal cord and your nerves coming off your spinal cord in a favorable position. And you should wake up feeling really, really good, ready to tackle all the stuff you're going to do throughout your day. So I hope this helps. And please subscribe to our page. We give you tons of information on our YouTube page, on our Facebook page, on our website. Subscribe to our page, like our pages. We're here to help you, and we look forward to helping you and your family for years to come.